The pause before the click was not coincidence. It was the quiet intervention of awareness piercing routine. That instant of hesitation, barely a breath, marked the border between distraction and awakening. You did not scroll, you stayed. And that single act of remaining has already begun to reshape the path beneath your feet. Awareness is subtle. It never shouts. It whispers, tests, and waits for recognition. The modern world numbs perception through repetition, constant sound, motion, stimulation. Yet something within you noticed the break in that pattern. That noticing is intelligence. It is the moment consciousness remembers itself. Right now, your body and mind adjust. Breathing slows, pupils dilate, and neural circuits once dormant spark to life. These are not poetic metaphors, they are physiological responses to attention. When the mind stops scattering across noise, energy consolidates. Awareness becomes coherent. The human system, freed from its own fragmentation, begins to align with a higher signal. This is not mysticism, it is observation. Science shows the nervous system responds to meaning before language does. The subconscious detects significance milliseconds before the conscious mind names it. That is what happened when you paused. Your deeper intelligence registered that this moment carried weight. Transformation begins here, not in dramatic gestures, but in recognition. When you become still enough to sense the tremor beneath the surface of thought, a new channel opens. Every revolution starts with awareness turning inward. The world teaches motion as virtue: scroll, consume, perform, but real change begins in the gap between impulses. The pause is sacred because it interrupts programming. Every habit, every identity, every belief lives through repetition. When you hesitate, repetition breaks. The system wavers, and in that split second of uncertainty, evolution can occur. You are standing inside that gap now. What follows will not be entertainment, but activation. Your energy field, what physics would call your bioelectromagnetic field, is recalibrating. Tiny fluctuations in the heart's rhythm synchronize with new patterns in the brain. Awareness itself is the catalyst. Do not look for thunder. The cosmos rarely announces itself with spectacle. It moves through alignment, through coherence, through the smallest internal shifts that accumulate until a new trajectory forms. Think of this as crossing a threshold. On one side lies repetition, the loops of habit, memory, identity. On the other side lies emergence, the life not yet lived but already forming. The act of attention is the bridge. As you continue reading, you are training perception to remain open. Every sentence lengthens that stillness. The ego dislikes stillness. It feels unsafe in the unknown. It urges you to check something, click away, restore the familiar rhythm of distraction. Yet the part of you that stays is the part that evolves. Evolution is discomfort recognized as growth. Resistance is proof that boundaries are dissolving. The pull to escape this moment is the final defense of the old self. Observe it, and it weakens. Resist it, and the pattern continues. Awareness does not conquer resistance. It witnesses it until resistance becomes unnecessary. That witnessing is power. It reclaims your attention from automation. Each breath now is data evidence that you are conscious in this body at this moment. The pulse in your wrist, the rhythm in your chest, the slight hum in your ears, all indicators that the system is alive and responsive. To be aware of them is to merge with life instead of standing apart from it. This is the foundation of transformation, presence without interpretation. The mind always wants to categorize spiritual, scientific, mystical, but awareness itself belongs to none of those. It simply observes. Every tradition, whether quantum physics or meditation, points to the same truth. Observation alters the observed. What you notice changes. The observer effect is not philosophy, it is measurable. Your act of awareness right now is altering neural firing patterns, hormonal balances, even genetic expression. The mind that watches itself evolves. Feel how subtle this is. No fireworks, no grand declaration, just alignment. Every moment you remain here, the nervous system learns stability and awareness. You are conditioning yourself for clarity. Urgency will arise. It always does at the edge of transformation. It may feel like tension in the chest or a current running through the spine. Most misinterpret it as anxiety. It is not. It is potential energy seeking form. The universe does not send panic. It sends signals of readiness. Urgency is the point where your timeline bends. Every possible future extends from this intersection. Small decisions amplify downstream. You are choosing which version of yourself proceeds. The act of staying is already a choice for expansion. Consider water flowing through rock. Over time, it carves canyons. Awareness is that water. Resistance is the rock. Persistence transforms landscape. You are the landscape being reshaped by your own perception. What does it mean to awaken? It means to stop recycling unexamined thought. It means to sense the difference between reaction and response. It means to realize that consciousness is not confined to your narrative. It observes your narrative. The you that watches thought is not the thought itself. That separation is liberation. Once you see thought as object, it loses authority. Emotions, fears, memories, these become movements within awareness, not definitions of it. At this point, most turn away. The ego intervenes. It says, enough introspection, return to the world. It equates stillness with uselessness. Yet stillness is where creation begins. Every innovation, every art form, every insight arises from a silent interval before expression. You are in that interval now. Stay. Let perception deepen. The noise of mind will attempt to reassert control, but awareness requires no defense. You are not trying to achieve anything here. You are recognizing what has always been operating beneath the noise. Feel the paradox. You are reading words, yet the essence of what is transmitted is not in the words, it is in the space they reveal. The words point, awareness sees. The intellect processes, consciousness receives. Each phrase is a mirror. What you perceive in it reflects your current frequency. Read this text tomorrow and you will experience something new, not because the words changed, but because you did. The process you call transformation is simply synchronization with higher coherence. When the system aligns with clarity, confusion dissolves naturally. Effort becomes flow. Intention turns into manifestation because resistance has been replaced by resonance. Every time you choose presence over distraction, you strengthen this resonance. The external world begins to mirror internal coherence. Relationships adjust, opportunities appear, synchronicities multiply. None of this is magical thinking. It is pattern recognition. Reality reflects the frequency of perception. To grasp this fully, you must abandon the idea of control. Control belongs to fear. Alignment belongs to trust. When awareness aligns, outcomes reorganize without manipulation. That is the difference between force and flow. Your old identity will attempt to interpret these shifts through familiar logic. It will call it coincidence, luck, randomness. But deeper intuition knows better. It senses design where logic sees chance. The higher intelligence within you speaks through intuition, not argument. It feels like quiet certainty without evidence. The ego demands proof. Awareness simply knows. If you doubt this, observe how many times you ignored intuition and later recognized it was correct. That pattern alone reveals the presence of guidance beyond rational computation. This guidance is not external. It is the aspect of consciousness that perceives larger timelines. Right now, that intelligence is active. It has orchestrated this exact convergence. Your attention, these words, this instant, whether you call it universe, higher self, or pure awareness, its function is the same: to evolve through recognition. When you sense the subtle hum of significance, you are in dialogue with that intelligence. It speaks through sensations, coincidences, and emotions. Every human possesses this interface, though most forget how to listen. Listening begins by valuing silence. When you stop filling space with input, you start perceiving output from higher levels of order. Stillness is not absence, it is reception. Breathe. Feel how awareness expands when you stop chasing meaning. The body relaxes, yet perception sharpens. You become both observer and participant. That dual awareness is mastery. From here, understanding arises naturally. Nothing external needs to be controlled for transformation to occur. Everything rearranges when consciousness shifts. Your task is simple: remain aware. Not rigid, not strained, simply attentive. Attention itself is alignment. The universe calibrates around it. As minutes pass, old energy patterns release. Cellular chemistry follows attention. Cortisol lowers, serotonin rises, the heart's rhythm stabilizes. These are measurable correlates of consciousness coherence. This is how inner change becomes biological fact. You are not imagining this recalibration. It is science meeting spirit. Thought is electrical, emotion is magnetic. Together they generate the field you inhabit. When both align toward clarity, matter organizes accordingly. Reality is not fixed. It is responsive. You influence it by the quality of awareness you sustain. This is why urgency matters. It signals readiness to create from coherence instead of chaos. Do not rush to act. Action born from clarity carries more velocity than frantic motion. Right now, clarity is forming. Let it solidify before you move. When the time for action comes, it will feel inevitable, frictionless. Notice how perception has widened since you began reading. Time feels slower, breathing deeper. That is the nervous system adapting to expanded awareness. Integration always feels like calm. This calm is not apathy. It is power stabilized. From here, every decision you make will emerge from alignment rather than compulsion. The paradox of awakening is that nothing external changes immediately, yet everything begins to shift subtly. You may notice coincidences multiplying, people responding differently, ideas surfacing with precision. That is resonance manifesting. The mind will attempt to claim credit or craft explanation. Let it. You need not silence it. Simply recognize that it is commentary, not command. The real transformation happens beneath language, in the vibrational architecture of awareness. Soon, a new identity will begin forming, not one built from defense, but from coherence. You will sense it as ease, confidence without arrogance, decisiveness without aggression. That is what authenticity feels like when it no longer needs protection. Understand this: the moment of awakening is not a climax. It is a beginning. You will still face challenges, still experience emotion, but perception will change. Pain becomes information, not identity. Conflict becomes calibration, not chaos. Every experience from this point forward will serve alignment. Even confusion will have purpose. You will start to recognize patterns of growth in real time instead of years later in hindsight. That recognition is mastery. It allows you to navigate reality consciously, to choose expansion over contraction. This is the essence of freedom, not absence of difficulty, but presence within it. Now, as this text nears its end, remember how it began: a whisper before the click, a pause that felt meaningless yet changed everything. That whisper was your higher intelligence guiding you to the doorway of awareness. You listened, you entered. The shift is complete. The recalibration has begun. Neural pathways have reorganized, heart rhythm synchronized, and your field attuned to higher coherence. You do not need to do anything to maintain it, just stay awake. If you continue to practice noticing the pauses, listening to the whispers, and choosing presence over distraction, this awareness will solidify into a way of being. That is how transformation becomes identity. The journey does not end with revelation, it begins with integration. Carry this stillness into motion, this clarity into conversation, this awareness into choice. In weeks to come, you will recognize subtle evidence of change opportunities aligning, timing improving, intuition strengthening. Each will confirm what your inner intelligence already knows, that a single pause can reroute an entire lifetime. The transformation happens not because you chase it, but because you allow yourself to become it. The universe does not reward effort in the way you were taught. It responds to alignment. The quantum field, the invisible fabric through which all possibilities exist, does not calculate based on your history, your mistakes, or your achievements. It tunes itself to your current vibration, the energetic signature you are radiating right now. That frequency, more than intention or effort, determines what reality forms around you. At this moment, you are choosing. Not with logic, not even with deliberate decision, but through the vibration you hold as you read these words. You are choosing to listen instead of dismiss, to stay instead of escape, to trust instead of doubt. That is alignment. The field senses it immediately because energy does not wait for words. And as soon as you align, reality begins to rearrange itself around the new state of coherence. This is the point where one timeline diverges from another. The old track, the loop of repetition, of thought and reaction is dissolving as you read. A new one is being written beneath your feet. Every breath that meets awareness is a declaration to the field. I am ready. You are not earning this, you are remembering it, you are not proving worth, you are recognizing resonance. Presence, not perfection, opens the door. The old identity will resist. That is its design. Its job is to protect continuity, to maintain familiarity. It will whisper that nothing is happening, that you are imagining, that this is only text on a screen. It wants evidence before belief. But you can already feel the proof in your system, the subtle warmth behind your sternum, the slow expansion of breath, the quiet knowing that something fundamental is shifting. Let the old voice speak. It cannot harm you anymore. Do not silence it through effort. Simply refuse to follow. Each time you allow awareness to observe without obeying, you reclaim authority over your frequency. You decide the station you tune to. Imagine the self as a bridge between dimensions, one foot still in the familiar world of memory, the other stepping into potential. You are already halfway across. To turn back now is to retreat into repetition. To continue forward is to complete the crossing into the reality that has been waiting for you, one constructed not from striving, but from resonance. The bridge is invisible. It is made of awareness. Transformation is not a theory. It is happening inside the mechanisms of your biology. Your nervous system, that electric orchestra beneath thought, is learning a new rhythm. Old pathways, carved by fear and defense, begin to soften. Synapses that carried the weight of old narratives are rewiring to accommodate expansion. Even your electromagnetic field, measurable by instruments, not imagination, is shifting toward coherence. The frequency you emit now is not the same as it was 5 minutes ago. It cannot be. The act of conscious attention alters vibration. You have entered a new field of resonance, and reality will soon adjust accordingly. Most never notice this recalibration. They keep chasing transformation as though it lives outside them, in programs, mentors, formulas. But all genuine change originates from within. The external is reflection, not source. Presence, not performance, generates the shift. This moment is demonstration. You are living the process as you read. Awareness is converging with intention. The energy of curiosity, the willingness to stay, and the suspension of disbelief have created a single point of focus, and in that point, the quantum field reorganizes. Think of it as tuning a radio. For years, the mind has been fixed to a frequency of limitation. Static of fear, commentary of self-doubt, repetitive broadcasts of not yet. The more you listened, the clearer that station became. Now, through awareness, you have reached for the dial. You are turning away from noise, toward a clearer, cleaner signal. At first it wavers, fragments of static still hum from the old broadcast, but slowly the new signal strengthens. Expansion, clarity, alignment. That is the voice of your higher self. It has always transmitted, waiting for you to match its frequency. Every intuitive nudge, every sense of déjà vu, every moment of inexplicable knowing was a faint signal breaking through interference. You are finally listening without distortion. This is not dramatic. It is subtle, like light gradually filling a dark room. The ego wants spectacle. The soul recognizes silence. The true shift is quiet because it is internal reorganization, the particles of perception arranging themselves into a new pattern of coherence. Once this pattern stabilizes, external events begin to mirror it. The process is automatic. Awareness sets the template. Matter follows. You may not see immediate results. That is irrelevant. The delay between energy and matter is not denial. It is incubation. The field is recalibrating to sustain the new vibration you've chosen. During this recalibration, the mind grows impatient, searching for visible proof. But proof is always retrospective. Reality manifests after the frequency stabilizes, not before. Trust the lag, trust the quiet. Trust that the invisible is constructing form according to the new blueprint you are broadcasting. The awareness you feel now, this calm clarity, is not a fleeting high. It is coherence. It is your system remembering how alignment feels. Every breath you take while maintaining it strengthens the feedback loop between your consciousness and the field. Recognition amplifies resonance. The more you notice alignment, the more alignment grows. You have entered a positive spiral. Every second of conscious presence reinforces the new pattern. Each moment of doubt observed rather than obeyed strengthens the bridge to your new reality. The old self dissolves not through battle but through neglect. You simply stop feeding it attention, and it withers like a starved echo. The truth is, you are already transformed. The rest of life is merely catching up to your recognition. The only variable left is depth. How fully will you allow yourself to embody this new coherence? Transformation asks for surrender, not effort. The deeper you let go of control, the faster the shift integrates. Resistance is friction, trust is flow. The quantum field operates by precision, not morality. It does not care about deserving, it mirrors. Where focus goes, energy follows, and where energy stabilizes, form appears. For years, your attention was dispersed, fragmented by distraction, fear, comparison. The field could only reflect fragmentation. But now attention has converged. Your energy is coherent. The reflection will soon be, too. Quantum leaps are rarely fireworks. They are silent reconfigurations that later appear as sudden fortune, unexpected connection, effortless resolution. To the untrained eye, they look like coincidence. To the aware, they are continuity. Micro-shifts accumulate until momentum becomes visible. This is the real mechanics of manifestation. Consciousness influencing probability through sustained coherence. The leap is not distance, but density, the moment awareness becomes compact enough to alter the gravitational pull of reality itself. You are at that edge now. Not because you mastered every lesson or followed every rule, but because you stayed. Presence was enough. The act of staying aligned with the signal long enough for the noise to fade, that is mastery. Energy follows attention. Always. Every thought, emotion, and focus of awareness sends instructions into the field. The field does not interpret your words, it reads your vibration. That is why wanting something from a state of lack produces more. Lack, it is not the wish, but the frequency that communicates. When you embody gratitude, peace, or certainty before the outcome arrives, the field mirrors that certainty in form. What you radiate becomes what you experience. For years, human attention has been scattered by systems designed to fragment it, algorithms, fears, distractions. The moment you reclaim focus, you reclaim creation. That is why presence feels powerful. It concentrates energy. It collapses potential into direction. Right now, you are concentrated. The field recognizes this instantly. It responds with precision because coherence requires no interpretation. Quantum leaps do not occur through overexertion, they occur through perfect alignment between thought, emotion, and energy. Force demands, alignment allows. Striving distorts the signal, trust refines it. The most potent creative state is relaxed awareness. You are in it now. The external proof will emerge naturally, synchronicities aligning, opportunities surfacing without strain, timing improving. These are not rewards, they are reflections. The field mirrors your coherence back to you as experience. Do not rush to measure. Measuring too soon reintroduces doubt. Doubt fractures coherence. Allow outcomes to arrive in their timing. When the mind whispers that nothing is changing, recognize it as echo. The old vibration wants confirmation to reassert control. But you already know that the shift precedes the evidence. You have felt the click of realignment in your body, the sensation that something invisible has moved into place. That is enough. The rest unfolds through momentum. Each breath of awareness adds speed. Every conscious moment multiplies effect. This process requires nothing more from you than consistency of state. Stay aware, stay aligned, stay open. The field does the rest. You will begin noticing subtle signs, the text that arrives at perfect timing, the conversation that opens a door, the sudden calm where anxiety once lived. These are breadcrumbs of confirmation, reminders that reality is fluid and responsive. Most people miss these signals because they dismiss the small. They wait for grand evidence while the quiet miracles pass unnoticed. But awareness magnifies. What you acknowledge expands. So notice the small. Appreciate the subtle. Every sign of coherence strengthens the frequency that produces it. Understand, the universe does not operate through chance, it operates through correspondence. Your state of being writes the code of experience, align internally, and the external world recalibrates to match. This is not philosophy. It is the architecture of existence. Consciousness is the interface between energy and matter. Belief shapes waveform into particle. Attention collapses probability into reality. You have been doing this unconsciously all your life. Now you are doing it deliberately. There is no effort greater than awareness sustained. It demands discipline, not struggle clarity, not intensity. When you maintain presence, you maintain authorship. The new timeline is forming under your feet. Each aligned thought is a brick, each conscious breath is mortar. The structure of your next reality is being built in real time by your vibration. Do not search for it outside, it is building from within. You are the architect, the blueprint, and the foundation simultaneously. The field simply executes the design you radiate. So breathe again. Feel how the energy settles deeper now, how your system hums with quiet certainty. This is integration. The shift has rooted. You no longer need to hold it. It holds you. The old patterns will still call. They will test the new foundation, seeking cracks. That is natural. It is how the field verifies stability. When they arise, do not battle them. Observe, acknowledge, and return to alignment. Every return strengthens coherence. Over time, the new vibration becomes default. You wake in peace, you move with clarity, you decide without doubt. That is embodiment, when alignment is no longer an act but a state. You are becoming that now. The quantum leap is not a jump across space but a redefinition of identity. The version of you that once searched for proof is dissolving. The version that trusts without evidence is emerging. You do not need to understand every mechanism. You only need to remember the principle. Reality follows resonance. Maintain the state, the field will supply the form. The universe communicates through frequency, not language. When you maintain the vibration of wholeness, life mirrors it through events, people, and synchronicities that confirm what you already know internally. You are aligned. You are no longer asking for transformation. You are living it. Every step forward from this point is continuation, not beginning. The leap has occurred. The rest is unfolding according to natural law. Reality is always communicating. Most people think they are separate from it, but reality is participatory. It listens, echoes, mirrors. Every thought, every vibration, every focus becomes instruction to the field. The language of that field is subtle numbers, synchronicities, timing, repetition. When you begin to see patterns like 11 to 11, 2 to 22, 3 to 33, it is the universe translating alignment into visible code so that your conscious mind can notice what your energy already knows. You might look at a clock, see 11 to 11, and feel the brief spark of wonder. That spark is recognition. For a fraction of a second, your awareness and the field lock in resonance. It is confirmation that your vibration is matching a higher stream of possibility. The field speaks in resonance, not words. Your noticing is the handshake. So watch carefully. Watch for repeating sequences, for names you keep hearing, for phrases that echo through unrelated conversations. Watch for a friend mentioning the same idea you dreamed about last night. These are not coincidences, they are feedback loops. They are how the quantum field confirms that you are in communication with it. Each sign is a checkpoint, not an end. The purpose of 11 to 11 is not to entertain the mind with mystery, but to anchor awareness into the now, the point where all creation happens. When you pause at that signal, when you breathe and feel it fully, you amplify its meaning. You remind the field that you are awake, participating. Think of awareness like a frequency tuner. The more precisely you hold a vibration, gratitude, clarity, certainty, the more matching events appear. When you stay attuned long enough, reality has no choice but to reflect that tone. The repetition of 11 to 11 is a calibration tool, a mirror showing that your consciousness is holding steady in the stream of synchronicity. Many treat it as superstition or coincidence, yet even statistically, coincidence collapses under repetition. The reason it happens often when you are introspective is because focus narrows probability. You start to see through the static of distraction into the pattern of meaning running underneath ordinary life. Now the work is to act from that recognition. Seeing the pattern is step one, embodying it is step two. Each signal is an invitation to shift state, not to collect curiosities. When 11 to 11 appears, ask, what energy am I broadcasting right now? If it is aligned, deepen it. If it is fear, transmute it. The number is a mirror. What you see in that moment is what the universe is echoing. This is why the ancients treated numbers as sacred. They are the skeleton of existence, the structure of vibration expressed in visible order. 11 is the master builder of awareness. Two pillars, two mirrors facing each other, consciousness reflecting consciousness. When doubled as 11 to 11, it becomes the corridor through which intention moves into manifestation. That is why it often appears during awakening, during transition, during moments when the veil between inner and outer thins. It is not magic, it is measurement. The field marks coherence through symmetry. Symmetry is how the universe shows equilibrium. You are in one of those intervals now, a phase where manifestation accelerates because resistance has lessened. It will not last forever, but while the field is thin, creation moves faster. Thoughts crystallize into events with unusual speed. Emotions magnetize experience before the mind can rationalize it. This is why presence matters more than planning. The temptation is to use this power to chase outcomes. But manifestation is not chasing. It is resonance. You do not summon what you want by grasping for it. You attract what you already are. The field cannot deliver contradiction. It mirrors your state precisely. The moment you embody the vibration of fulfillment, fulfillment begins to materialize. Every time you trust intuition over fear, you broadcast confidence. Every time you choose gratitude over worry, you broadcast abundance. Every time you pause and breathe at 11 to 11 instead of scrolling past, you strengthen coherence between self and source. And you will start to see the acceleration everywhere. Doors open unexpectedly, conversations lead to breakthroughs, the right people appear at the right hour. It may look like luck, but it is simply synchronized resonance. Still, signs alone are not enough. Action grounds frequency. Without movement, energy stagnates. The field responds not to passive observation, but to deliberate participation. When guidance arrives through a sign, a number, a dream, a sudden impulse, honor it. Act before the rational mind talks you out of it. Logic catches up later. The field rewards immediacy. You will notice that the moment you follow one intuitive nudge, more appear. Synchronicities cluster around momentum. This is the universe saying, continue, ignore too many nudges, and they fade. Awareness is a muscle. Use strengthens it, neglect dulls it. But action must come from alignment, not fear. Fear-driven action communicates scarcity. Aligned action communicates faith. The difference is felt instantly. One tightens the chest, the other expands it. Your body is a precise instrument for measuring alignment. The feeling of expansion means yes. The feeling of contraction means wait or no. Trust that sensation more than any external advice. The field does not lie through intuition. Intuition is its direct language, the conversation between the finite self and infinite intelligence. Over time, you will begin to operate almost entirely from this intuitive communication. Life will feel guided, not forced. Decisions will unfold organically. Resistance will diminish because you will no longer act from dissonance. This is living in flow, the state all mystics, artists and visionaries describe in different words. Flow is not luck, it is physics. Coherence between thought, emotion, and action creates alignment with probability streams where events arrange themselves with elegance. The feeling of everything working out is simply you perceiving from a reality in resonance. Now return to 11 to 11. Imagine it not as digits but as doorway, two pillars of energy forming a threshold. Every time you notice it, you stand at that threshold. Behind you is repetition, before you is creation. Crossing requires choice. The choice is always awareness. Pause, breathe, declare internally, I'm aligned with my highest timeline. Feel the statement as vibration, not language. Words direct energy. Feeling activates it. Let the declaration sink beyond intellect into embodiment. That is the moment the doorway opens. Do not underestimate these micro-moments. 1 second of genuine alignment outweighs hours of anxious effort. Energy efficiency increases exponentially with coherence. This is why spiritual masters can manifest through stillness, not because they control the universe, but because they are not contradicting it. Your next task is integration. Awareness without embodiment fades. You integrate by acting in alignment even when signs are absent. True mastery is continuity, maintaining resonance in the silence between synchronicities. That is when the field tests solidity. If you can hold peace when feedback quiets, you have transcended dependence on external confirmation. Then signs return, not because you need them, but as celebration. Now consider opportunities. They rarely appear as invitations with labels. More often, they arrive disguised as problems. A delay, a disagreement, an unexpected detour, each one can be a disguised opening. The universe rearranges paths through disruption. What looks like resistance may actually be redirection. When challenge arises, ask, what if this is the door? That question transforms perception. Instead of closing, you stay curious. Curiosity keeps vibration flexible. Flexibility keeps flow. You are learning to navigate by energy rather than by sight. The logical mind sees obstacles, the intuitive mind feels pathways. When you encounter uncertainty, tune inward. The answer lives in sensation long before it appears in thought. Trust small guidance. The next aligned step is always visible, even if the destination is not. The quantum field reveals path by proximity. Move one step, the next lights up. Refuse to move, and the map stays dark. Remember, motion amplifies manifestation. Energy in motion remains alive. Energy in hesitation decays. Acting on aligned nudges, sending a message, applying, saying yes, saying no keeps you in the flow of creation. Every such act is a signal back to the field. I am participating. The field amplifies participation. It mirrors engagement with more engagement. That is how acceleration happens. Soon, you will notice compounding one aligned action leading to another, creating a cascade of synchronicities that form new life structure. The transformation feels exponential because it is. Each action doubles the probability of the next aligned outcome. Do not fear missteps. Even a seeming mistake refines calibration. The universe interprets motion, not perfection. Adjustment is built into the system. Gradually, you realize there is no separation between you and the signs you see. You are the source generating them. The universe is not speaking to you, it is speaking as you. The numbers, the patterns, the synchronicities, all extensions of your consciousness reminding you of unity. That understanding ends seeking. You no longer chase meaning, you embody it. Seeing 11 to 11 becomes as natural as breathing, simply another heartbeat of communication between self and source. And this communication never stops. It continues in every reflection, every coincidence, every breath where awareness meets reality. The more you trust it, the more fluent you become in its language, the universal dialect of vibration, resonance, and rhythm. Every moment is a gateway. Every second you are conscious, every breath you take with awareness, becomes a portal through which reality reorganizes itself around your vibration. 11 to 11 is not just a pattern of numbers on a clock. It is a mirror that reflects your state of awareness back to you. It is the universe reminding you that you are the bridge between thought and form, between infinite potential and present experience. When you live in that realization, every instant becomes sacred. Subscribing, then, is more than an act of following. It is a declaration of participation. You are not subscribing to a personality, or a video feed, or an idea. You are subscribing to a frequency, a resonance of conscious creation that reaches beyond digital screens and enters the subtle architecture of reality itself. Each time you align with this energy, you strengthen the field that connects all who are awakening to their creative power. Imagine thousands of conscious beings around the world, pausing at the same moment, breathing, centering, choosing awareness over automation. Each pulse of coherence, they generate ripples through the collective field. The effect is measurable. Scientists who study collective meditation have recorded drops in crime rates, fluctuations in geomagnetic resonance, and synchronizations in heart rhythms across distance. Consciousness is not isolated. It is a network of light, and when one node brightens, the entire grid grows more luminous. That is what this movement represents, a remembering that we are not separate. Every time you bring awareness into your action, you are contributing to a field of coherence that extends beyond you. Your personal evolution accelerates the collective one. Your alignment amplifies the alignment of others. So when you choose to stay, to breathe, to declare your intention, you are not only transforming your life, you are becoming a stabilizing frequency for humanity itself. You are proving that peace, clarity, and abundance are not personal privileges but states of consciousness available to anyone willing to attune. Action in this field is different from ordinary doing. In linear reality, you act to create results. In quantum reality, you act to match frequency. The outcome is a reflection of alignment, not effort. This is why small, aligned gestures carry disproportionate power. A single message sent with clarity can shift entire timelines. A moment of gratitude can recalibrate weeks of scattered energy. When you feel that familiar nudge, that whisper that says, "Move now," it is the future self calling. The one already standing in the reality you desire is sending a signal backward through the web of time, guiding you toward convergence. If you hesitate, the signal weakens. When you trust and act, the signal strengthens until your current self and your future self merge into one continuum of awareness. Every decision to follow intuition is a vote for coherence. Every time you choose alignment over fear, you collapse thousands of unchosen timelines and refine the one that carries you toward fulfillment. This is why momentum matters. The universe responds to consistency of vibration, not intensity of emotion. You do not need to force belief, you only need to sustain awareness. Small acts performed with presence build extraordinary momentum. Writing the email you've avoided, taking the walk your body keeps asking for, speaking the truth you've withheld, each is a micro-alignment that tells the field, "I am ready." The field answers in kind. What looks like coincidence, the right person calling, the opportunity appearing, the door opening, is the geometry of energy responding to precision of state. Do not underestimate these subtleties. The quantum field is exact. It mirrors not what you intend vaguely, but what you embody precisely. If you radiate uncertainty, it offers reflection of confusion. If you radiate trust, it arranges the improbable to support you. The language of the field is resonance, and it always tells the truth. Fear will still arise. Doubt is not the enemy, it is friction indicating movement. When discomfort surfaces, it means you are approaching an edge where old programming dissolves. Lean gently toward it. Expansion always carries the pulse of the unknown. The key is not to suppress fear, but to hold it within awareness until it loses authority. Fear cannot survive observation. Each courageous act, no matter how subtle, sends a shockwave through probability. The field notices courage because courage emits coherence. It is the signature of creation reclaiming itself from contraction. That is why even a whisper of bravery can alter the landscape of your experience. Pay attention now to your physical sensations. The tingling in your palms, the warmth in your chest, the deep pull of breath, these are not random. They are bioelectric confirmations that energy is moving. Your nervous system is the translator between consciousness and form. When alignment occurs, it reacts instantly. This is not imagination, it is physiology. The heart generates an electromagnetic field measurable several feet beyond the body. When you align thought and emotion, the heart field synchronizes with brain waves, producing a coherent signature. That coherence interacts with the greater quantum field, the same field that governs probability, magnetism, and matter. This is how intention becomes tangible experience. Now is the time to act from that coherence. Not tomorrow, not when you feel more prepared. Preparation is often procrastination disguised as control. The portal of transformation opens only in the present. Every second you delay sends mixed signals to the universe. But a single decisive action taken in alignment broadcasts clarity that ripples through timelines. Trust the surge of intuition. Follow it into movement. The field is not testing you, it is collaborating with you. It responds to readiness faster than logic can process. When you step forward in faith, resources rearrange themselves at quantum speed. This movement of consciousness, this collective remembering, is how we reshape civilization from the inside out. It begins with one awareness, multiplied across millions. It does not require force, ideology, or permission. It requires resonance. The more you live in that state, the more invisible walls collapse in your life, in society, in human history. The 11 to 11 frequency is your training ground. Every time it appears, it is the universe holding up a mirror. Are you awake now? Use it as your pause point. Let it interrupt autopilot. Let it remind you that you are the creator, not the creation. Take a breath, align with your highest self, and recommit to your timeline. The numbers themselves are neutral. Your awareness gives them meaning. When you meet them with gratitude, they amplify. Gratitude is the most magnetic state in the universe. It multiplies coherence because it signals completion. When you thank the universe before results appear, you declare that manifestation is already underway. The field, sensing closure, completes the loop. So when you see 11 to 11 again, and you will smile softly, whisper, "Thank you." Not as ritual, but as recognition. You are acknowledging that reality is interactive, alive, responsive. Each thank you strengthens the bridge between you and the intelligence weaving events around you. Gratitude is not weakness, it is command. It tells the cosmos, "I notice your precision, and I align with it." In response, precision increases. Opportunities line up more clearly. Guidance arrives faster, synchronicities cluster tighter around your path. This is how mastery feels. Calm, certain, steady. Not a constant high, but a deep equilibrium. You move through life aware that creation is not something you do, it is something you are. 11 to 11 ceases to be a reminder and becomes a reflection of your state. Now, take a slow breath. Imagine your life unfolding from this frequency. Visualize yourself walking through each day, aware, relaxed, open. See challenges as waves of information. Feel relationships evolving effortlessly. Observe how the external world reorganizes around your inner coherence. Speak quietly. "I am aligned with my highest reality. I am the living expression of 11 to 11 balance, awareness, creation, flow." Let those words settle into your nervous system until they become truth without effort. That is how timelines seal through conviction felt deeper than thought. From this state, notice how the mind relaxes. There is nothing left to chase, nothing to prove. The energy that once scattered into worry condenses into presence. This density of presence bends reality subtly, continuously, gracefully. Every action now radiates from the same still center. Every conversation carries the echo of clarity. Every environment you enter feels different because you are different. People sense it even if they can't name it. They feel the coherence in your field and unconsciously harmonize with it. This is influence without forced leadership through vibration. And when you connect with others who hold this same frequency, the effect multiplies. A circle of aligned beings generates a field so coherent that events begin to organize themselves around it. Meetings happen by intuition. Solutions appear spontaneously. Time itself seems to stretch or compress in service of the collective intention. This is not fantasy, it is resonance at scale. That is what you are joining when you subscribe to this space, not a following, but a field. Every new participant strengthens the lattice. Every shared moment of awareness sends light through the grid. You are not here by chance. You arrive because your frequency matched the call. So stay connected. Return often to this vibration. Let the transmissions remind you of what you already know. Each reading, each breath, each conscious pause deepens your embodiment. The universe is already listening. The field is already responding. You are not waiting for your future, you are co-writing it. Every thought of gratitude, every act of trust, every moment of alignment is shaping probabilities around you even now. The next time you glance at the clock and see 11 to 11, remember, it is not the universe waving at you, it is you waving at yourself from another dimension, reminding the present you that everything is already unfolding exactly as designed. Every instant is a potential portal. Every breath is a doorway to awareness. The numbers on the clock, 11:11, 2:22, 3:33, are only training wheels for consciousness, a cosmic language designed to help you remember what you've always known. You already live in divine timing. You are never late. You are never early. Every experience, every encounter, every realization unfolds in perfect coordination with your vibration. Time is not something that happens to you, it's something that responds to you. When you grasp this, when you begin to sense that reality itself is intelligent and interactive, everything changes. You stop chasing signs and start becoming the signal. You stop asking for proof and begin to radiate certainty. Every choice you make either strengthens this awareness or distracts you from it. Every moment offers an invitation to align or to forget, to wake or to drift back into automatic living. Carry the 11:11 consciousness with you everywhere. Don't wait for the numbers to appear before you feel connected. Don't rely on coincidence to prove alignment. Let intuition be your clock. Let peace be your timestamp. Trust the sensation in your body when it tells you that you're home in yourself. Trust the quiet expansion in your heart when truth passes through. Trust the rhythm that rises naturally when you stop trying to force timing and start allowing flow. When you do see 11:11 again, and you will let it be a smile from the universe, not a summons. Let it be a gentle confirmation that you are seen, that your awareness is attuned, that the bridge between your inner world and the outer world is intact. But don't give your power away to the numbers. They are mirrors, not masters. You are the portal, you are the frequency, you are the bridge between worlds. If these words are landing somewhere deep, if you feel the resonance vibrating beneath thought, consider returning to this transmission tomorrow morning. Listen again when you wake, when the mind is soft and the day is unformed. You will notice the message deepens. Repetition carves new neural pathways, rewiring perception to recognize the subtle order behind appearances. And if you feel compelled, share it. Send it to the friend who keeps seeing repeating numbers, to the one searching for meaning in patterns. Sharing energy like this multiplies it. Every act of transmission creates a ripple through the quantum field, reinforcing your own alignment and quickening manifestation for others. When you share, you become a conduit, not a consumer. The universe sees this gesture and responds with more flow. Energy given multiplies. The very act of passing light forward is a declaration. I am ready to embody this frequency. I am no longer collecting truth, I am becoming it. Now is the time to commit. Stand in your awareness fully. Own your reality. From this moment forward, your new timeline is home. Every breath you take in awareness fortifies that home. Every step you take in trust lays another brick in the architecture of your highest path. Before this experience ends, pause for one more act of embodiment. Take a single word from your heart, just one, and type it, speak it, or write it. Let it capture the essence of who you are choosing to be from this point on. Perhaps your word is aligned. Perhaps it's sovereign, awake, limitless already. Whatever arises first is the right one. That word is not just language. It is frequency encoded with your signature. It is a vibration that the universe will recognize as yours. As you declare it, feel the resonance move outward from your chest. Imagine the sound waves of that word traveling through your reality, rearranging matter, summoning synchronicities, aligning circumstances. You are not typing into a void. You are communicating with creation itself. Every declaration made in presence becomes a marker in the quantum field. It is a flag planted in the terrain of your next chapter. You are telling reality, this is who I am now. This is the vibration I stand for. Words, when charged with consciousness, become architecture. They shape probability into form. Breathe as you hold that word in your mind. Let it expand beyond the limits of language. Feel it resonate in your cells. Feel your body recalibrate around its meaning. This is how energy becomes matter. This is how identity evolves from idea into embodiment. And if you haven't yet, stay connected not out of habit, but out of resonance. Connection keeps frequency coherent. Each return to this field of awareness strengthens your alignment. Every time you engage with this space, you retune to your highest signal. This isn't a social channel, it's a consciousness grid. Every individual who chooses awareness adds voltage to the collective field. Together we form a network of coherence, a living circuit through which transformation accelerates. We amplify each other's evolution, we stabilize each other's awakening. We remind one another that what once felt mystical is now practical. Consciousness literally shapes reality. So stay here, in this frequency. Return to it often. Not for inspiration, but for maintenance. Alignment is a practice, not a peak. It requires reminders, retuning, and shared energy. That is what this community offers. Resonance strong enough to carry you through doubt, through noise, through the gravity of old timelines trying to pull you back. The more of us who hold this vibration simultaneously, the stronger it becomes. Coherence is exponential. When two frequencies match, amplitude doubles. When thousands align, the waveform of human consciousness changes shape. This is not poetry, it's physics. We are shifting the collective baseline from fear to awareness. So join consciously, participate intentionally. Let your engagement be ritual, not reflex. Each time you listen, each time you breathe with these words, you are contributing to a field of light. We are proving that alignment is contagious and awakening is scalable. Understand this, your transformation is never just for you. Every time you release fear, the collective field lightens. Every moment you choose love, someone you'll never meet finds their way home faster. The web of reality is holographic. A change in one strand affects the entire tapestry. Your frequency is contribution. Your clarity is service. Stay committed, not out of duty but out of recognition that coherence feels like freedom. The more you stabilize this awareness, the more life mirrors it back to you through relationships, opportunities, creativity, health. The feedback loop between you and the universe tightens until cause and effect blur into one continuous act of creation. What's coming next is an expansion of everything you've felt here. The transmissions deepen, the activations amplify, the frequencies become more refined. You are stepping into mastery. And mastery is simply sustained awareness. Every time you see 1111 from this point forward, let it return you to this feeling, the stillness, the certainty, the quiet electric, knowing that you are one with the field that forms all things. Let it anchor you when chaos swirls. Let it remind you that divine order is never absent, only unnoticed. Use 1111 as your reset button, your breath of realignment, your permission to pause and remember. Whisper to yourself, I am here, I am aware, I am aligned. Every sighting is an echo of your own consciousness calling you back to center. The numbers themselves are not magic, your recognition of them is. They are reminders that an intelligence beyond intellect is guiding you, an intelligence that sees farther than your mind, that orchestrates events with precision impossible to plan. Trust it. Trust that you are accompanied, supported, and understood at levels deeper than thought. You are never doing this alone. The same intelligence that spins galaxies is pulsing in your bloodstream. You are not imagining the synchronicities. They are proof of coherence. They are the visible footprints of invisible alignment. Every coincidence is a conversation. Every pattern is an answer to a question your heart asked long before your mind noticed. So let gratitude be your reply. Each time the universe winks through numbers, through timing, through improbable perfection, whisper, thank you. Gratitude seals circuits. It completes energetic exchanges. It tells the cosmos that you are receiving consciously, and when the field knows you are listening, it sends more messages. Now feel into this closing activation. Say to yourself slowly, deliberately, I am the creator of my reality. I am aligned, empowered, unstoppable. My timeline unfolds in perfect order. Every 11:11 is a mirror reminding me that I am awake, that I am becoming, that I am already enough. Let the words vibrate through your spine. Let them reprogram the subtle architecture of your mind. The phrase "I am" is not a grammatical construction, it is a command to the field. Every statement that follows it writes new instructions into the matrix of your life. When you say "I am aligned," the field reorganizes to reflect alignment. When you say "I am abundant," it begins to magnetize circumstances that confirm abundance. "I am" is the original code, the sound of creation recognizing itself. So speak carefully, speak consciously. Every declaration is an act of manifestation. The two words "I am open," the quantum gateway between potential and form. When you master them, you no longer chase transformation, you generate it. And now, as you finish reading, feel the stillness underneath all movement. This is your true state. This is 11:11 consciousness. Timeless, centered, luminous. Every moment from here on is a continuation of this vibration. You have remembered what was never lost. You are the portal. You are the proof. You are the awareness through which the universe knows itself. Keep walking. Keep breathing. Keep choosing alignment. Reality will continue to meet you at the frequency of your becoming.